All right, it is day 2 of our project, and in today's activities, you're going to be looking at 2 to 3 other students' slavery timeline project topic exploration, and you're going to be getting some new ideas about some of the slaves or abolitionists that other students took time to learn about. So you may be strategic by trying to find other students who looked at different slaves and abolitionists than you looked at on Monday. So you're learning about a wider range of people from which to choose from. We want to narrow our topic today to one particular slave or abolitionist that we want to spend 2 or 3 weeks studying. So it makes sense for you to really dive deep and look at what other people have learned by looking at their topic exploration. So your job today is to explore different people's projects, and you're going to make comments on the things that they learned. So what we're looking for here is really thoughtful, interesting comments that are helpful to the person who created the project, the topic exploration, and helpful for you to start thinking about who you're interested in learning more about. So in the screen that you're seeing now, the Levi Coffin slide, I'm going to read through the questions that were created and think about some comments that I could write back to the person who created this particular slide. So in question number 1 down here, number 1 says, where is Levi's house where he hid slaves? So it's referring to this photograph. 2 says, where did slaves go to find safety and freedom? That refers to this illustration. And then 3, who are all the people with Levi in the photograph of him? And how did he find others who were willing to help him hide slaves? So as I read through those questions, one of them might pique my interest and might start my imagination roaring. So for example, in question 2, it says, where did slaves go to find safety and freedom? So we know that they were moving from south to north because slavery was in the southern part of the United States. This illustration, I'm noticing there's snow on the ground, so I'm assuming they must have had to go pretty far north in order to find freedom. And that is a curious question to me. I'm also wondering about this statement here, find safety. So there were safe spots along the Underground Railroad, I know, but where were those spots? I'd like to see them on a map, and that makes me curious. So I might highlight this, go up to comments and click comments, and add a comment like, I am curious where the Underground Railroad depots were in the United States. Makes me want to know that, and it makes me want to learn a little bit more about Levi Coffin. So I might eventually, as I'm working through today's activity, decide that Levi Coffin is really the person who I want to study, because I'm most interested about the questions that were asked in the photographs and illustrations that I'm seeing. So what I want to talk about next is what we do not want to see. What we don't want to see is a comment like this one. That's interesting. Nice job. So while that's an encouraging statement, it's not helpful. It doesn't give enough specifics to be of interest to the reader who's going to be looking at this later. And it also isn't helpful to you in narrowing down your search. So be thoughtful, take your time, and really enjoy this. You should be having some fun looking at some really interesting primary sources like this photograph and this illustration. And looking at even photographs from today should pique your interest and it should be enjoyable. So take your time, enjoy your time today, and remember that at the end of today, you're going to be declaring the person who you want to study for 2 to 3 weeks. So take your time and make a good choice.